Hello friends, welcome to Turn a Stone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to anyone who has subscribed to my channel recently. I have had a flurry of new subscribers join the channel and I really do appreciate that support. And of course, if you've been here a while, thank you to you as well. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. It really does help support my channel. So for today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at your next yes. So in other words, this could be a yes that you yourself are saying to some opportunity, perhaps that's presented to you, maybe some person or an organization or someone in particular. All kinds of yeses are represented here. This could also be something outside of yourself that is saying yes to you. So for example, a job offer, maybe an organization is saying, yes, we'd like to hire you, or yes, we'd love to have you come and study at our university, those kinds of things, or yes, you got the part. You get the idea. So I've got 3 different decks for you to choose from here today. But before I introduce the decks, I did receive a message from Spirit yesterday that I wanted to share with you. This may be your message. So what I heard was, you are a beautiful bloom who deserves to be appreciated. So someone out there needs to hear this. You are a beautiful bloom who deserves to be appreciated. All right, and now I will introduce our decks. So we have pile 1 here, which is Tarot of Mystical Moments. We have pile 2, which is the Wildwood Tarot. Pile 3 is Tarot of the Divine. Timestamps are in the description box below. Please click ahead to your chosen pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, my lovely pile 1s. Welcome to your reading. This is a look at your next yes, and you chose the Tarot of Mystical Moments as the pile for your reading, or the deck rather, for your reading. I love the imagery on this deck. So beautiful, so lush, lots of colors, and the garments and the flowers are always very beautiful on this deck. So maybe you're somebody who really appreciates those things. Maybe you like the arts, you like fashion, perhaps you like gardening or floristry. That's all a possibility with this kind of choice of deck. But let's get into your cards and look at the next yes that is coming into your life. So the card that came out first for you was the 2 of Cups. So I see a yes for you in partnership. This could be romantic partnership. We do have a lot of cups in your reading here. This is the 2 of Cups. You also have the 8 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups came out for you as well. So a lot about emotions. It can often be about like relationships and our emotions in relationships, the cups. But you also have a fair number of pentacles as well. You've got both the Queen and the King of Pentacles. And those are a well-matched pair, the King and Queen of Pentacles. So that was kind of giving me a nudge that, this may be romantic for some of you. A romantic partnership may be something that you're saying yes to, or maybe it's a romantic interest that you have. They're saying yes to you. But I do see a possible yes in romance. For those of you for whom that doesn't apply, we're also getting a lot of Pentacles cards in your reading as well. So this could be a new business proposition or business partnership, which could be like an employer. Maybe you're partnering up with an employer, or some kind of organization, or maybe starting up a business with someone else. Whatever the case, there's definitely a yes there. You are definitely interested in being a part of this partnership. I do see a lot of wealth coming with this partnership here with the Queen and the King of Pentacles. These are court cards, and they are kind of at the top of their game when it comes to earthly resources. So a lot of beautiful abundance there. But let's talk about your cards here more, because there's a little bit of a story going on. So we have the beautiful 2 of Cups for you. I do see, as I said, a yes in terms of partnerships. For some of you, it may be a romantic partnership. It could be a friendship for some of you as well. That's possible. You know, friendship is a kind of partnership, so that's certainly one interpretation. And for others of you, like I said, this may be a business partnership of some kind where they're either saying, yes, we want to work with you, or you're saying yes, or all of you are saying yes. But it's interesting because after the Two of Cups, the next card that came in your reading was the Five of Cups, but it's coming in reverse. So that next to the Six of Swords tells me, you know, these are both cards of something a bit sad has happened, perhaps. Maybe for some of you, you were in another partnership. And, you know, maybe something occurred within that former partnership that just left you feeling not so great here with the Five of Cups. And with the Six of Swords, you know, this is something you kind of need to move on from. It could be a loss of some kind with the Five of Cups. That card is often associated with loss. So maybe there was some kind of loss in another situation or loss in a partnership. You know, and that can be, you know, anything from, you know, losing a person to, you know, somebody losing interest or, you know, losing their interest in committing to something, all kinds of possible interpretations with that. But I do see you moving positively on here, you know, and this did come out in reverse. So you're kind of letting go of this situation, whatever it was. It may have left you not feeling so good. It may have been a difficult loss to absorb, but I see you're kind of moving on from it here with the Six of Swords. Things are definitely getting better for you. And it's interesting, you've got two cards of moving on here. The Six of Swords is a card of moving on. And you've also got the Eight of Cups card, which is another card of, you know, moving on. The next card on from the Eight of Cups is the Nine of Cups, which is kind of moving on to getting our wishes fulfilled, our needs met, having what we want and desire. And the really interesting thing about this Eight of Cups card, particularly in this deck, if you'll notice, each of the animals here, whether it's the swans or the dragonflies or the birds or the butterflies, they're all in pairs. So I do get this sense that you're moving, perhaps, you know, a partnership has ended. Wasn't able to continue, you've had to move on from it. Maybe it's been very difficult to let that partnership go. You know, maybe it was something you had to let go. It was perhaps even outside of your control for some of you. But this to me looks like, you know, you're moving on to a new partnership, frankly, with the way that this card is depicted here, with all of the pairs that we see here. So maybe it's moving on. Maybe you lost a friend in some regard, but you're kind of moving on to new friendships, and they all look very, you know, bright. The birds are on the flowers here, the butterflies, a sign of transformation. I do see this moving really beautifully forward for you. And you've got the Queen and King of Pentacles, as I mentioned. This is a very well-matched pair. You know, maybe you are somebody who is very practical. Maybe you're somebody who is, maybe you really enjoy the earth. Maybe you're very in touch with nature. I see you meeting somebody who has very similar tastes, values, proclivities. You know, this is somebody who's also very good with their money, or very practical, or also a nature lover here, with these two cards coming out. So I think this next partnership coming into your life, even if it is maybe a business, perhaps a company, an organization, you know, you're going to be well matched to this environment. It's going to reflect your values. It's going to reflect the level of intelligence that you have, the level of mastery that you have. They're going to appreciate your skills and talents here. Again, whether it's a person or an organization of some kind, or you know, whatever the case may be, I do see a well-matched situation. And with the Six of Pentacles here, to me, this looks like this sort of top line is telling me a story. If you have had to leave some difficult situation, this card can talk about, kind of where you put your energy. So I do see you putting your energy now into something that does bring you fulfillment. But just the imagery on this card alone is really telling me that you're going to be able to kind of open up about what you've been through. Maybe if you're meeting a new person, a new partner, you're going to be able to be honest about, what you went through in your last partnership, how it affected you, your true feelings. And I think this person is going to be very sympathetic, very empathetic. They're going to really understand what it is that has occurred for you, and you're really going to feel seen and felt and heard here with the Six of Pentacles card coming out. This can often talk about balance as well, the Six of Pentacles. So I think it's going to be a well-balanced partnership, this partnership that you're saying yes to in the future, and the partnership that is saying yes to you. I really see it as a two-way street. We've got these sort of twins here, that your next yes is going to be a reciprocal yes. So you're going to say yes to this new partnership, and this new partnership is going to say yes to you. And it's just going to be, I think it's going to be a beautiful healing partnership for you too. That is the next yes that is coming in for you. I'm going to draw a couple more cards for you here. I'm going to draw from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here to see if we have some additional wisdom that wants to talk to you about this new partnership that you're saying yes to, that's saying yes to you. Let's see what Spirit would like to bring through here. I'm seeing this one. And we have the Fates. Oh, beautiful. The Fates. So there may be something fated about this next partnership that's coming to you. Number 17, the Fates. This is a really beautiful card. It does suggest to me that there's some divine intervention going on, maybe some divine orchestration. I'm not sure if you can pick it up in the camera here. I'll bring the card a little closer. But that looks like, she's got either fairy wings, or it could be interpreted as angel wings as well, something a little angelic, a little fairy-like perhaps at work in your next partnership. But, this looks like a destined partnership for you, my pile ones. Really beautiful, gorgeous. And then just to close out your reading, I'm going to draw from the Divine Feather Messenger here and see if we have any words from the birds. And it says, white turkey, the power to heal the earth is within you. The power to heal the earth is within you. Wow. And I'm actually getting tingles in my body. This is crazy. So for some of you watching this, you are really earth people here. We've got these two King and Queen of Pentacles. You've got the Fates and this image of perhaps the Fae here, which is, the creatures of the woodland and the earth. You've got the white turkey, which talks about the power to heal the earth. So maybe the earth or the environment, nature, these things are very important. For some of you watching, and I think this is somehow going to relate to this new partnership that is coming in for you. Wow, that was so crazy how I got that strong tingling sensation when that card came out. So definitely some real earth people here, nature people here. Maybe that is a particular passion for you, and that might well come into play in some way. Maybe you meet this partner while you're out in nature in some way, or participating in some activity related to the earth. So yeah, take it as it applies to you. But that is the reading that I have for you, my pile one. That is your next yes. It looks beautiful. And again, like I said, it looks like a reciprocal yes. We've got these two twins here, the Two of Cups. They're saying yes, you're saying yes. And, I think you've got a really beautiful thing here that's going to unfold for you. So thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do that. If you'd like to book a personal reading, information for how to do that is below. I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. And in the meantime, I wish you a beautiful day full of light, love, and boundless blessings. I will see you in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. This is a look at the next yes in your life. So perhaps something you will say yes to, or something that will say yes to you. Let's take a look at your cards. You chose the Wildwood Tarot deck today for your reading, and I love the imagery in the Wildwood. You know, it's very woodsy. There's a lot of sort of myth and folklore woven into this deck. Very beautiful deck. I think it's a very good deck at really kind of getting into a lot of unspoken things that are going on for us, like really those subconscious things, bringing them to light. So it has a real good symbolic language, I think, for arriving at some of those deeper truths of our life. So let's look at the card that came out first for you, your kind of sentinel card for the reading. And the card that came out first for your next yes is the Knight of Vessels, the eel. So this would be the Knight of Cups in traditional tarot decks. In this deck, it's called the Knight of Vessels, and it is the eel. And these are, of course, it's a court card. So court cards often represent people. So I think you're saying yes to a person. You've actually got two knights in your reading. You also received the Knight of Stones, the horse here. So the Knight of Stones and the Knight of Vessels. The Knight of Stones would be the Knight of Pentacles in a traditional deck. So you've got two knights showing up here. And the knights are often a masculine energy. They are often a sort of a young adult energy, I would say. So you may have like a young adult with masculine energy coming into your life, or perhaps even in your life, that I think you will be saying yes to. It doesn't have to be a person necessarily, but I think for some of you watching, it will indeed. So young adult masculine is coming through here. And really interesting what's coming through in your reading. So you have a lot about protection. I'm getting protection, help. So whoever this person is, I think they're offering you help. I think they're offering you protection of a kind. You did receive the Four of Stones, the protection card. The Knight of Vessels, also this eel. In Irish myth, the eel was often used in battle, and it could turn into a weapon. So it, you know, it might look like a slippery animal, but indeed, with a little magic, it could turn into a weapon easily. So again, it's got that element of protection. I also heard ease for you. I think you're saying yes to more ease in your life as well. So whatever this help is that's being offered, that's being presented to you, it's going to bring more ease into your world. Going back to protection, you also received the Woodward here. This would be the Strength card in traditional tarot decks. But you'll notice the Woodward is, you know, again, holding a spear here. So again, that sense of a weapon, of being protected, is coming through in a third card in your reading. So we've got three cards here with the theme of protection, being protected, I think getting some help with something. We've got this Ace of Arrows, the breath of life, and with this eel kind of representing ease and the breath of life. You know, that feeling like being able to just, you know, take a breath of air, finally breathe after maybe something that's been a bit tense. We also have the kind of smoke signal here, which to me, again, is that sort of, you know, request for help, need for help. So that help message is really coming through strongly in your reading. Also, going back to the Woodward here, this perhaps, if this is indeed, does take the form of young adult masculine person or somebody who embodies the energies of a young adult masculine. This Woodward also is holding the cup of giving as well. And with the Knight of Vessels, of course, being, the Knight of Cups, cups are about, they can be about love, about emotions, about emotional feelings and passions, even. Um, with the cup of giving here, this could even be for some of you, maybe a potential romantic partner coming forward for you who is perhaps a very protective kind of person, somebody that, is willing to help you in ways that are useful to you, somebody who is able to offer you some safety and protection in life. I do see here you've got a couple of cards indicating that you may have been through a difficult experience. We've got the Six of Stones, and in this deck it's called Exploitation. You also received the Two of Arrows, which in this deck is called Injustice. So with both exploitation and injustice coming out, this is suggesting to me that you've been through some kind of very trying circumstance, situation. It could be an event. It could be a pattern, like a relationship pattern or a family pattern. There's been something, I think, that has occurred for you that has been perhaps damaging or difficult for you. And I do see, there is some beautiful protection coming in, and some sincere and loving protection as well here with the Woodward card showing out. If you'll notice in these cards too, this bottom row is showing me all animals with a great sensitivity. So we have this, it could be a leopard or perhaps a lynx, but cats are very sensitive. They have very sensitive reflexes. They're very, sensitive kind of forest creatures or creatures of the savannah. And that's showing me, you may be somebody with great sensitivity. In the Four of Stones protection, we're seeing what looks like a baby deer. Deer, of course, are extremely sensitive creatures. They feel things through the ground in their hooves. They have these large ears that pick up all kinds of noises and even just tiny rustlings. Deer will pick up on those. So very sensitive creatures, the deer. And then, of course, we have the horse. The horses are very sensitive animals. They're, typically a prey animal. They're very alert to sort of any sense of danger, things being amiss in their environment. They can really pick up on energy. So with these three animals coming in, you may be somebody who is very highly sensitive. And I think perhaps, it can be, as a very sensitive person, it can be difficult to encounter, when we encounter people who behave poorly, act against us in ways that are harmful and damaging. I think it's very difficult as a sensitive person because, typically our hearts are very pure, our intentions are very pure, and we don't understand sort of the negative motivations that can come from others. Which can often sort of put us at a disadvantage in some circumstances because, with the very pure and sensitive soul that you are, you may not have understood some kind of dynamic that was playing out that maybe sort of didn't work out for your highest good here with the exploitation and injustice cards coming out. I hope I'm making sense there, but all of this trying to say your next yes is that either someone or some kind of development is coming into your life that is bringing in some assistance that you need, perhaps to untangle you from whatever this difficult or harmful circumstance has been. I think it can help to heal you. Here we've got the Woodward and this cup, and almost looks like a shamanic figure here. So I get the suggestion of healing. I think this figure is also known as the guardian of the forest. So I think you will be protected. If there is some person or some situation that continues to sort of affect your life in a negative way, I think you will, you'll be saying yes to someone or some kind of development that will protect you from the negative effects of this person or this situation. So, yes to help, yes to protection. For some of you, yes to a person who has these qualities, a very helpful person, a very loving person, a person who does have your best interests at heart. Who can help you. Indeed, as a sensitive person, I think you need this extra layer of protection and support. Often as sensitive people, we do need that because, part of being sensitive is that you're able to, feel things very easily. And, that sometimes means, not always having an understanding when people, behave in ways that are harmful. So, we need that extra layer of protection from people who are, able to sort of be fierce protectors on our behalf. Because our way of getting through the world is a very feeling kind of way. And we see this with the eel here too. It's kind of gliding through the river here, feeling its way through the river. I do see more ease coming in for you as well. You'll be saying yes to more ease, yes to help, and yes to protection. All right, I'm going to draw also for you from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. Let's just get some additional wisdom for your next yes. Let's see, might get an additional message here. Spirit, for pile 2, what additional wisdom do we have for pile 2 today regarding their next yes? All right, we have this one. It is, it's a little hard to turn over here. It says the Observer, 49, the Observer. Oh, that's very interesting. I am going to read from the book for this card because I think that will help give us some additional insight. One moment while I get the book. Number 49, Observer. Perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. I'm also going to read the relationship message too, because I sense that there may be a relationship for some of you. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. So we have the Observer. So that's interesting. There's a sense of taking a step back here, perhaps taking a step back from whatever the situation has been, maybe gaining a different kind of perspective. Perhaps, there will be someone who can help you gain additional perspective. One thing I neglected to mention too, as I was initially gaining the insight from your reading, for some of you, this person coming in may be a lawyer. I was noticing the scales here, and we've got all these protection cards. So it could be, perhaps somebody who works in the legal system, a lawyer, a counselor, or another expert of some kind who can assist you with whatever this circumstance is. So I just wanted to mention that too as well. So, maybe this person will be coming in and observing your situation, getting another perspective on what's been going on for you. All right, and to close out your reading, I'm going to draw from the Divine Feather Messenger deck here. Let's get some Divine Feather wisdom here from the Bird Kingdom to see what additional insights we have for your next yes. So things look to be getting better, my pile twos. So I would indeed breathe a sigh of relief over what your cards are bringing here for you today. All right, we have for you the Duck card. It says, find comfort and balance in simple ways. You have support all around you. Wow, and that is confirmation. I mean, there's definitely support coming in for you here. So maybe starting to appreciate the support that you do have in your life will be greatly beneficial at this time. Find comfort and balance in simple ways. You have support all around you. Ah, wonderful reading, my pile twos. Support, help, assistance, protection. It's all there before you. It's all going to be there before you if it's, if you're feeling that's something you want to call into your life. So beautiful, yes, my pile twos. I wish you all the best of luck with this situation and this unfolding. Thank you so much again for being here. If you like this reading, please click the like button. I also invite you to subscribe to the channel. It does help to support me here on YouTube, so thank you for that. If you'd like a personal reading, I have details down below for how to book a personal reading with me. And with that, I wish you a beautiful day full of light, love, and boundless blessings. I will see you next time. Thank you. Hello, my beautiful pile three. Welcome to your reading. This is a look at the next yes that is coming into your life. So the next thing that you're saying yes to here in your cards today. So the deck that you've chosen, this is the Tarot of the Divine, and this deck was inspired by, it says deities, folklore, and fairy tales. So it has all of this beautiful imagery from the world of fable, the world of stories. So we'll discuss some of that as we go through your cards here today. But let's take a look at your next yes to begin. And the first card that came out for you is the Seven of Wands. And I'll show you this card. And it's really interesting because your next yes is that you are willing to put in the effort necessary to go for your dreams. And for some of you, this may be to make some kind of improvement that's really going to make your life better, I'm hearing. Something that is really going to bring you a lot of pleasure, a lot of abundance, a lot of fulfillment, all of those beautiful things. But I think you've come to a point where you realize, you're just going to need to put in the effort to make this happen. So this is very good news. Typically, the Seven of Wands can often indicate somebody who is having to kind of fend off a lot of criticism or fend off a lot of people coming at this person, fend off a lot of people making demands on this person. Excuse me, my voice is going a little bit. However, I think the next yes that is coming into your life is you are kind of turning over a new leaf here, and you are getting out of some situation that you have felt stuck in. And it's bringing some really beautiful release for you, some beautiful fulfillment and passion, like I said here with the Ace of Cups. But let's talk about the cards that are coming up for you and kind of what they're telling me about your situation and sort of this beautiful new chapter that's coming in for you. So as we move into your cards, we've got the Four of Swords, and then that was right next to the Hanged Man here. And if you see this Four of Swords, it's an animal that looks like it's kind of tied up. It certainly doesn't look free in any way. So there may be a situation that you have felt a bit tied down, maybe a bit trapped in, I'm hearing. The example that came to me was, for example, if you're working in a job that you don't really enjoy very much, maybe it's the kind of job that's there's a lot of stress, a lot of demands are made of you, but you feel kind of stuck because you feel perhaps, I can't leave this job. I really need the money, or I need, something else that this job provides me. I don't really see a way out. I've just got to keep doing this. The next yes coming into your life is that you are going to put in the effort needed to make whatever change that you are desiring. So you're no longer going to put up with feeling stuck. With the hanged man here coming out in the reversed position, that's showing me that you're getting out of stuck mode, and you're taking steps, you're taking action here, especially with the Queen of Wands coming out underneath the reversed hangman. You're taking action to make your dreams come true, to make this change, to get out of this situation that you felt stuck in. You also have the Six of Swords. So that is the card, as we know, moving on to better things. And it's interesting because she's paddling here, and it looks like, there's a bit of white caps on the water there, so maybe a little rougher water, but then up ahead things are smoother. So, getting out of this situation may require some heavy paddling, some effort, some just expending the energy needed in order to make this change. So your next yes is, you're finally getting out of stuck mode, and you're putting in the effort necessary to go for your changes that you want to make in your life. I was hearing things like go for your dreams, go for your goals, go for things that you're passionate about. And indeed, here you have the Queen of Wands, and this card depicts Pele, who is a Hawaiian goddess, and she often works with nature. She's very fierce force. You have a lot of real strength and ferocity in your reading here. So, I think you're kind of channeling that strong energy within yourself, that fierceness to get out of something that just simply isn't acceptable anymore, that you no longer wish to put up with. You're sort of channeling that fierceness, that sort of Pele energy where, I'm going to make this situation better for myself, maybe even better for my loved ones. Definitely, I see making an improvement and putting in the effort necessary to make that improvement. So, for example, going back to the example, if there's a job that's not fulfilling for you, or that, maybe feels even a bit toxic, I'm hearing for some of you. You are, you're staying up late at night, and you're, making a new resume or a CV, and you're filling out online applications, perhaps. You're doing the job search, or maybe contacting the recruiters. You're taking that extra time and energy to actually get out of the situation, to take concrete, tangible steps to move things forward in a positive way. And Pele, as we also know, this beautiful Hawaiian deity, she also makes the islands, very beautiful. Yes, the volcanoes can be kind of scorching, but they also ultimately result in rich soil, a fertile land, lots of beauty, natural beauty. So I think that's a good metaphor for kind of what is happening for you. Yes, you may be sort of tearing down this old situation, getting yourself unstuck, making effort towards something new, but you're creating something beautiful and really lovely for yourself here. And you've got the Ace of Cups, which also represents passion. For some of you, I'm hearing maybe you wanted to go solo in business. And the reason I say that is because we have the Three of Cups, but it's upside down. And the Three of Coins upside down. And in the reverse position, the Three of Coins talks about a collaboration that's disbanding. It seems that your cards are suggesting that there's some kind of collaboration which you no longer wish to engage in. So perhaps you're going solo. The Queen of Wands certainly is a card of the solo entrepreneur. Um, or you may simply be going on to a different collaboration. That's also possible as well. But this can suggest that you're leaving some kind of partnership behind, some kind of collaboration behind. If there was an organization you were engaged with, I think you're wanting to leave this organization behind. So some kind of group such situation, this position suggests to me you're done with it. You felt stuck for a while. You're fine. You finally now have the energy, the passion, the motivation to make things better. And by golly, you're going to do it here with the story that your cards are telling. Also, the card that came out for you is the Three of Swords. So whatever this situation has been in that you have felt stuck, I think it has been quite painful. Look at the image on this Four of Swords. That is a very unhappy animal there. The Three of Swords often indicates, really intense emotional pain. So I think this situation that you felt stuck in has been perhaps quite hurtful. Maybe there's been a lot of criticism. I heard smear fest as I was kind of pondering your cards as well. So, that suggests maybe being kind of criticized by the people around you in some kind of environment. However, as you make this change, as you kind of come into your own power and you take these concrete steps to make the situation better for yourself, this is very healing for you. You're able to start to release, start to shed some of that pain. The Ace of Cups, also very healing energy. It's water, it's cleansing, it's healing. So I do see you feeling emotionally better. I think this is going to be very emotionally healing for you to start to put in the effort to make this beautiful change for yourself, to go after your dreams, to go after a better situation, to really make it happen. So that is the yes that is coming through for you, my pile threes. For a little additional wisdom, I'm going to draw from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here, and we'll see what Spirit would like to show us in terms of additional wisdom for your reading about the next yes in your life. There we have it. All right, so the card that came out for you is the Breathe card. Yes, absolutely. I think with this change that you're going to make, you're going to be feeling more spacious. I'm hearing more relaxed. There's going to be more ease in your life. It's going to take some effort initially, just to start to gain momentum, to get out of this feeling of stuck, but you're really getting out of your own way here. You're releasing any mental blocks that you may have had around why you needed to remain in a particular situation. You're opening up, you're breathing, you're taking some time out, I think, ultimately, to kind of process and heal this situation. Beautiful card here of, I think, some spiritual connection as well. So spiritual practices may be important to you, perhaps yoga, meditation, those kinds of things, however that resonates for you. But I do think, as you begin to make these changes, it really is going to bring more ease, more tranquility, and more, expansion into your life in a positive way. You're really going to be feeling much more relaxed. I think whatever situation you've been in here with this, especially with this Three of Swords, that's really showing me, some injury in the heart space and some difficulty. So you're going to be able to breathe a sigh of release once you have started to get these changes underway. And then finally, to close out your reading, I'm going to choose from the Divine Feather Messenger. Let's see what else Spirit would like to bring through for you here today. Oh, we get this one wanting to come out here. And we have the Eagle. It says, you are learning all aspects of spiritual connection and searching new heights. You are learning all aspects of spiritual connection and reaching new heights. Wow, beautiful. So perhaps making this change, may for some of you involve going into some spiritual work of some kind. With the breathe card and the eagle, both suggesting some, spirituality, spiritual practices. Perhaps you are taking these spiritual practices more seriously, maybe beginning to offer them to others. That is really coming through strongly here. But nevertheless, I think as you put in the work necessary to make these important changes, you're really going to enjoy that deeper connection with spirit. And, with the eagle here, this really is a card of victory, success, reaching new heights. I think you have the potential to do quite well and be very successful. All right, my pile threes, that is the message that I have for you. This was your next yes. So good luck with this new effort that you're undertaking. It really does look like it's going to pay off well for you. It's going to be very healing. It's going to be very abundant for you. It is going to require you, to put in some energy, to put in some, you may have to force things now and again. You're going to have to stick with things here too with this card. But, all of the signs are pointing to, you being able to succeed with this in a really lovely, beautiful way. So thank you so much for joining me here today. I wish you a beautiful day full of light, love, and boundless blessings. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the information is in the description box. Also, thank you for liking this video and subscribing to my channel. It really does help support my work here on YouTube, so thank you for that. And I will see you in the next reading. Goodbye.